Slenderman, Slenderman, all the children try to run. Slenderman, Slenderman, to him it's part of the fun. Slenderman, Slenderman, dressed in darkest suit and tie. Slenderman, Slenderman, you most certainly will die.
Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we have Eyeless Jack and The Road.
Don't worry, it's not The Road by Cormac McCarthy because, I just think that was an absolute horror train wreck of a... This is The Road, the Creepypasta.
Yes, the one with a very special entity in it. Because it's Slendermonth, as you can probably tell by the intro music and the outro music for this episode. Slenderman, I mean, honestly, if you haven't heard of him yet, go Google him, but I'll give you a quick little rundown of how it got to be. So, June 2009... Victor Surge, the user behind the Slenderman, went on to the Something Awful forums and entered a paranormal photo manipulation contest and posted a couple of photos that he manipulated to have a really tall guy in a suit with tentacles behind him, chasing children or being in the background with children in the foreground kind of thing, and had like little excerpts of accounts regarding this entity. And like the mystery of like what behind the photos. And so it just kind of caught on and grew from there with people doing their own photos and their own stories. And then eventually some vlogs came around, and the whole like fictional universe or mythos of the Slenderman kind of exploded from there. And so it's been in tons of different media. So and since it was done on June 2009, we're going to celebrate Slendermonth in June. So, but before we get to the Slenderman creepypasta of today, we're going to do Eyeless Jack because it's been suggested a fair amount of times in the last couple of months to us. So, Eyeless Jack, let's do the rundown. It's this guy Mitch. He's moved in from with his brother, who after about a week since his house got foreclosed, and he's having trouble sleeping because he hears this. He heard something like rapping on the window, and then like coming into his room. Oh no, yeah, he heard some rapping outside of his window, and
Was like,
must be some kind of animal or something. Then the next night, he hears.
The next morning, he wakes.
Oh yes.
Is it? Wait.
I think there was a night where they just heard the
You're
noise.
You're right. That is. Sorry, I was jumping the gun.
It's okay. Yeah.
I just won't. Yeah.
I'm trying
to rush this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So the next night.
Spoiler alert! I didn't care for it.
The next night, he hears another noise, like a thumping on his floor. He gets up, looks around, nothing's there.
It's like the window opening and then a thump on the floor. Now, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta stop you here.
Okay.
Just because this part bothers me. If you heard your window open and a thump on as though,
something
a man-sized thing
fell on your floor
was, from your windowsill, would you not turn the fucking light on?
Yeah, I would. I would also probably not be sleeping for a little bit long, for a little while.
Anywho, that's my piece.
Yeah.
I had to get it out because I'm boiling over here.
We've got some things. I even have some issues with this one because I was reading it and I was like, oh no.
Well, of course you do. You're not a moron.
I appreciate that. So he wakes up the next morning, and his brother goes downstairs, and his brother drops his coffee and grabs a mirror to show him, holy crap, he's got like a gash on his forehead or something.
Cheek.
On his cheek, sorry, yeah. And so he goes to the doctor, and the doctor's just like, well, Mitch, it looks like you've been sleepwalking. However, we found this. And then he lifts up his shirt, and he's got an incision where his kidney was. It's like, oh, it looks like your kidney has been removed. And so looks like you were sleepwalking. I'm like, what? What? Anyway, I'm going to forgo the fact.
Did you wake up in a bathtub full of ice, sir?
Well, yes, I did. Oh, God. It's like, how the hell did you not feel that?
Well, okay.
Oh,
With the gash on the
today.
with the
Jeez.
gash on the left cheek, I was like, how did you have to be told that?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
That would hurt, like, right?
like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like anything that's described as a gash
Is going to be
is
painful.
probably painful.
Yeah. So, he goes home and
Because,
that's
nobody wants
fun.
to keep him for observation with his fucking kidney removed.
I know. Oh God. So he goes home and sleeps the next night, and then that night he encounters the intruder, which is this guy in a blue mask with like holes for the eyes, but they're black pits and there's black ooze coming out of them, no mouth or nose on it, and he's in a hoodie, and he goes after him like just to go to tear into his chest, and he escapes. He grabs his money though because he's gonna need that. And he runs out of the house and gets to the hospital.
Nope. He gets to the forest and trips on a rock and
Yes.
falls unconscious.
Yeah, he goes into the forest, gets unconscious, ends up wakes up in the hospital. Same doctor, is like, well, Mitch, I have some good news and I got some bad news. Good news is you look like you're perfectly fine. Bad news, your brother's.
Except for his missing kidney.
The bad news is your brother's been killed by something.
Something. Sorry.
Yeah, wop it up, up it up, up.
YOLO.
So, aww.
I guess Holo? He only lives once?
Oh God! So he goes. His parents take him home, but not before they go to. He goes back to his brother's place. Walks over the body.
Because the body's still there.
Yeah,
But nobody else.
yeah. Grabs some things and walks, and then sees like how horrible the body is. Walks back to his parents' car. Doesn't mention the body to his parents, and then leaves.
Or the little thing by the body that he stole that turns out to be like a
half-chewed
scrap of his
kidney.
gnawed on, covered in black ichor kidney.
Yeah, and I think
Because,
that's how
I can... Yeah.
the story ends there.
Because, I can recognize an organ by a little scrap of it left behind.
Yeah. Oh man, I apologize, Dr. Leviathan. I doubly apologize for this one because first off, I thought this had something to do with Slenderman, and I was horribly, horribly mistaken. I think it was like thinking of another pasta or something.
Why? I don't even know why you're apologizing to me for that, because, quite frankly, for all I know, this is exactly what has to do with Slenderman.
Maybe.
Yes, I'm one of those few people who doesn't really know much about Slenderman.
Yeah. And then the second reason I have to apologize because I was reading this and I was like getting flashbacks to Homicidal Lou and Jeff the Killer, and I was just like, I'm going to be crucified when I see the doctor next.
This one isn't your fault.
I understand. It's just
I'm trying, I don't know, maybe you caught me on a good day, but I'm blaming the writer for this one.
Yeah, well, apparently, here's something I did find out about this when I was doing a little bit more digging into this. It's only on Creepypasta.com, so if you really want to read it, you can check it out, but it was on Creepypasta.wiki, but it was removed at the request of the writer. And somebody then rewrote it on Creepypasta.com.
Now, here's my favorite part.
Okay.
On Creepypasta.com, it's got like 8.6 out of 10.
I know.
Like,
And yet
stars.
every like comment below it is just, this has to be rewritten, like this should totally be rewritten because this is like what's wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like just all like fairly negative reviews.
Everything. Well, I mean, everything that can be wrong about this is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna rewind right back to the start. Maybe this is actually why I'm okay with this, because why I'm not angry at you.
Okay.
Because right away, this story let me know what kind of story it was gonna be. And here was my big hint. Where he's doing his introduction, we're in the first paragraph. Third sentence. I don't know if it was paranormal or whatever stupid words people use to describe supernatural phenomena. But after that thing visited me, I believe in that paranormal trash now. First off, you believe in it? You probably don't think it's trash. Secondly, paranormal or other whatever stupid word? Most of the words for that, first off, they're not stupid. Secondly, like, it's paranormal, supernatural. I mean, you do have some, like, just, why are you using that word, or how is that a word?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean...
There's only two words, paranormal and supernatural.
Unless you start getting into, like, really unspecific, like, you know, weird and, you know, abnormal and...
Fringe science.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. I guess the reason why he said that is because he's trying to come off as a skeptic, or like he was a skeptic until he encountered this stuff.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
he's saying that, like, he's saying that in the present tense. Like,
I know.
You know, it's just like,
well, what caught me
whatever stupid words. You're not really just, if you don't know what word to use. How did you come up with paranormal?
Yeah,
just. Immediately, I'm like, okay, this is written by someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. Secondly, I just gotta hit this one just right in the face. What is supernatural about this?
No, yeah, I know. It, like, maybe, like... I mean... Like, the person with the mask and the hoodie is kind of creepy, because he's... But, I mean, that just, like... Everything
you know what? I can make the... I can create that effect with such ease and simplicity...
Go to a dollar store, grab a mask like that.
In a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, it's really, like, there's not, like, he didn't do anything obscenely supernatural. He just did something, like, he's a cannibal. Like, we're under the assumption he's a cannibal.
Yeah, but that's not supernatural at all.
Yeah, and he leaves this black ink stuff that is probably, like, could easily just be something he puts...
Could be paint.
Yeah, it could easily be his calling card.
So, yeah, there's...
This is really more of a serial killer or some kind of killer.
There's literally nothing supernatural about this. Just because, like, from what I'm given, from the information I have, I can explain all of this in a without resorting to the supernatural, ridiculously easy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean... Okay, you didn't notice your kidney had been removed? Well, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, or maybe the guy used some kind of...
No, you're a fucking idiot.
Alright, I tried to save it. I tried. It failed, but I tried.
You know, you can wander downstairs without noticing you've got what you describe as a gash in your face. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna wake up to that kind of thing. Like, that kind of pain. It's
like, how did he, like, okay, again, if it's described as a gash, it's bleeding, right? Wake up, see the fucking blood on your pillow. Oh, I must be menstruating from my face again. Like, yeah. Like,
also, I do want to point out, this is what also caught me, and I realized this was going to be a bad pasta, was the second paragraph, I think, about, like, how he, like, it had been a week since I moved out of my to my brother's place from my house being foreclosed. I finally got some sleep after I moved, and the way I read it, it was like, wait, so did you, like, spend a whole week moving, and then you went to bed? Like, does that come off like that, or...?
Well, it's poorly written.
Yeah.
Also, like, you haven't seen your brother in 10 years and you're moving in with him.
And you're super excited for it. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that myself.
Like, you haven't seen someone in 10 years and you're moving in with them?
I think this writer might be might have, like, a drug issue, maybe, and that's why he's moving in with his brother, and, like, maybe that's why he didn't notice the gash or the kidney missing.
Just no.
Yeah, it's just
there's so much. Like, I mean, because also in that, like, there's so much wrong with just right at the beginning that just lets you know exactly what you're gonna get into.
Yeah,
and then and then it's over, and that's
fine. And then it's like, thank God. So it's bad. Like, the carrot, the entity, like, Eyeless Jack is a cool description, but that's it. Like, that's my only real...
It's not even a cool description.
And again, I think it's another...
It's things that... It's variations on themes that already exist.
Of course, that's how everything works. Like, I understand what you mean.
Okay, you say that, but, you know, we're trying to kick off Slendermonth here, and...
I know.
Slenderman, okay, he might not be, like, the most original, maybe, but, I don't know. he's refreshing.
Yeah, and
He's not.
there are several different variations of him, or different takes on him. But yeah, this
is just, it's unoriginal in all of its regards, except with how stupid it is. Like, this is Jeff the Killer bad.
Oh God!
But just not for the same reasons.
Yes, like it doesn't have. It's not bad because of an origin story gone wrong. It's
bad because
an encounter with that same kind of entity.
Well, yeah, but it's written with like the same complete and utter disregard for knowing or wanting to know how shit works.
Yeah,
like your body.
Yeah, like a crime scene.
Like a crime scene.
Like how a doctor would react to an actual patient.
Exactly. All of this is just, like, it's so far off of the mark that it's just horrible.
I have to remark now, because I feel like this should maybe be said. I think that the original writer of this story was probably in high school.
That's fine. You still know.
I mean,
in high school, you still know, or at least you best do know, that you're not permitted to walk around an obvious crime scene.
Yeah.
Bodies are removed before the family is allowed access to, get their shit and move out of a crime scene.
The doctor knew about the brother's death, and yet there was no cops or any details about a crime scene like situation at the house.
Yeah.
He just walks in, grabs his stuff, sees the dead body of his brother, grabs something small beside it, and walks off. And doesn't tell the parents that the body... Oh, yeah, by the way, my brother's...
your son. I don't know if you want to say goodbye or something.
He's there.
He's there. You might... I don't know. Yeah, there's... You go to the hospital because of a gash on your cheek, and somehow the doctor finds out that you're missing a kidney.
Yeah.
When you didn't know... And you're just, yep, get out of here.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Walk it off.
We've patched you up.
Walk it off. Like,
don't drink alcohol for a little while. Oh.
So, just,
Oh, man.
And just, and I mean, okay, why is this thing, coming after you? Why has it never come after your brother before?
Yeah.
Why after you move in?
Is this some kind of, just hit and run incident? And if so, why did it attempt it 3 times?
Yeah, why did it go after you and not your brother, but then, when you got away, all of a sudden it's like, well, fuck, I'll eat the brother then.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going into those woods. You can't make me. I'll stay in this house and kill your brother.
Yeah.
Also, I just love, I started laughing when I started reading the part where he's like, I had to escape, but I grabbed my wallet because I'm going to need the money later. And they kept running, what?
And he just leaves the house with a complete and utter disregard for the life and well-being of his brother.
They must not have been really that close. I mean, obviously 10 years of distance, I don't know,
Yeah, that was another one, and then when it's he turned up dead, that's why he has no regard for his brother's welfare, because his brother had to die. Yeah. It's
because
man.
Things. Yeah.
It's your brother's just like a Disney parent.
Yeah,
nobody cares about him because he's much gotta be dead.
Yeah, much like Disney dads or Disney parents, creepypastas have a similar trope with siblings. Creepypasta siblings, they die.
But yeah, just
it's oh god. So I think what we can get across with our obvious
stay away
from this one. I know I said, if you want, you can read on Creepypasta.com, but it might not even exist on Creepypasta.com for long. I don't know. It's been removed to other places.
I don't know. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, wow, we actually both kind of agree.
It happens from time to time.
So let's go away from Eyeless Jack, and let's move on. Let's start walking down that road. So the road...
Which is thankfully, again, not written by Cormac McCarthy.
No, it's actually a Slenderman-ish... It's a Slenderman story, where this guy, he's he likes to take night drives, evening drives. He drives down this long stretch of road, goes past a place that he remembers him and his buddies used to work at, goes all the way up to like Lover's Lane, like the hill on that oversees the town or whatever. The story builds up a lot of like detail, like kind of just getting to the big situation. And so he gets to the like Lover's Lane kind of area and notices there's a road there, like a road down into some woods that he's never really been down.
That he's never
even noticed.
Before.
Yeah. So he decides to go down it, and so he starts driving and goes into this valley. And goes pretty far away, and like it just doesn't seem to be anything that far down. Like there's no houses, no farms, or anything like that. It just keeps going. So eventually, he decides to turn to
and the hills have gotten closer, so that it's more like
walls.
He's in a slit.
Yeah, it's almost like those like
cut through the hills.
Exactly. Yeah. So he decides that he's going to turn around and go back. And as he's turning or doing his turn, he sees a tall guy with no face and like
no. He sees something
okay.
in the turn signal, which he used when he made his U-turn, even though like there's no reason for it. But I get that force of habit.
Yeah.
He's a good driver.
Exactly. And he thinks he sees something, and he does describe it though in that point, doesn't he? Like,
no.
Okay.
No. In fact, he keeps his headlights on that spot
because he's trying
and
to
he can't. Like it's not there anymore.
So he decides just to keep going. He didn't see anything.
He's going home.
Yeah. So he's driving down the road, and eventually a car starts speeding by him, or starts speeding up from behind him, and it starts honking its horn, and its high beams are all on, and it just passes him and just goes. And I can't tell. Do you see the do you see the figure again?
In his rearview mirror.
In his rearview mirror, yeah. And he gets freaked out by that, and he just guns it, like starts driving faster, and eventually he sees a car up ahead.
Taillights.
Yeah, the taillights of the car.
Presumably of the car that passed him.
Yeah, but it doesn't look to be speeding anymore. It looks like it's just in cruising speed. So he starts getting closer and
starts laying on the horn,
get
out of here!
Yeah,
I'm a madman.
Passes it as it just seems almost like it's stopped, and looks behind it and is like, "Wait,
that's me in my car."
Yeah, it looks like it's him in his car. It's like there's no way that could be. And then as he's going ahead,
turns back around.
Slenderman's right there in the middle of the road, and so he veers off onto the side and flips the car into the ditch. And as he's crawling out of this car, getting closer to the road, he sees a car go by, and
it's a car coming.
Oh, sorry, a car coming
because he's gonna get hit by it, and he's just all like, "Oh man!"
Yeah, and it looks like it sees that it's his same car. It's the same type of car he has, and he doesn't even have time to scream.
Well, no, he hears it blaring music, isn't it?
Right. Sorry.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be symbolic. Mm-hmm. Because the song "Stairway to Heaven."
Yeah, exactly.
I've never really cared for, so that kind of took
some
me
people
out of it.
Really.
Yep.
That.
Yeah, actually, it did.
Okay.
I don't care for Led Zeppelin, and I don't care for that song in particular. So I honestly, as soon as I saw the word, like the name of the band, I was just like, "Fuck 'em up." And I'm like, "Oh, great, Stairway to Heaven." Fuck 'em.
Fair enough. If you don't like the song, I mean, I do think that the story would have been better if he had just had some maybe not mentioned a name dropped like that.
Exactly.
It's a little
that was part of my problem with it. I mean,
and I hear it all the time in actual novels and stuff like that when people name drop something just for it, but at the same time, for a story like this, it would have been better with it. It would have been better if it was just another described a song or something that he was listening to, the vibe or something, and then he heard that same kind of song on the way back. But yeah, this actually is a good example of some of the things that Slenderman is supposed to be able to do, which is temporal manipulation or lost time kind of stuff. So I like the story. There was a part of it where I was reading this guy getting to the place, and it was okay, come on. But at the same time, it was actually I do like this because it is kind of building up a little bit of atmosphere, a little bit of you're getting the vibe of this guy's night drive. And when it finally got to the point, when we finally got to the scene inside the walled-in road, pretty much. It finally got to the action. And it was
I know what you're saying, because at the start of this, there's a lot of superfluous information. I dropped off my girlfriend. Okay, I don't care if you have a girlfriend.
Past the green. Yeah,
I don't care if you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me about it.
Yeah,
you can just say that, and it's fucking Thursday. I don't care if it's fucking Thursday. I don't care if you fucking do this every Thursday. You could just start the story saying, I find going out for a drive at night relaxing. It's like a pastime.
Yeah.
That's all the information I need. I believe you.
Yeah.
You don't need to give me details to try and talk me into it. No, I'm willing to believe you.
Yeah.
So that kind of, when they're giving you a lot of...
It felt like a lot of padding.
Details, it feels like they don't believe themselves, so they don't expect you to believe them, so they're trying to, give you all these minutiae and detail.
Yeah.
When it's unnecessary. It's like, no, I'm willing to believe you. Just, I've checked my...
immersion, or your sense of disbelief at the door.
Exactly. So, I've checked that. Let's go. Let's go forward. You fucking love to drive at night. You know what? I got a buddy who's the exact same way.
Yeah.
I like to cruise with him. It's fun. Anywho.
Yeah. And then he keeps describing, I passed the curb, the garden center shop or whatever, where all my buddies used to work. And
I don't care if you have friends.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because even I, halfway through it, I was like, okay, when's Slenderman showing up? Because I knew this was a Slenderman one, because I looked it up by the tag on the sidebar. But at the same time, I was kind of enjoying the read of the drive. It's kind of a weird thing. I was both enjoying the description of his buddies used to work there, or he was passing the Lover's Lane thing and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was also feeling all right, come on, let's keep going. This is padding.
He just didn't need to have all of the details.
Yeah.
I drove by a greenhouse. I don't care if friends worked there. I don't care if you have friends.
Yeah.
Let alone where they work.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just be thankful he didn't give me a list of names.
Oh, come on.
But
yeah.
At the same time, really, I just feel like you're dropping too much information that unnecessary.
Yeah, it really does feel like the first act of this is just a lot of detail just about this guy's life.
The greenhouse paints a backdrop.
Yeah.
His friends worked there is useless information.
Yeah.
He drives at night, sets up the story. It's Thursday and he just dropped off his girlfriend. Useless information.
Yeah.
And, there's lots of instances of that where he sets, he paints some, adds some background detail and then just fucking gives you some fucking random useless information.
Yeah, also name dropping, right off, he's blaring his music, Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, going down this road, and then it's getting creepier and creepier because the walls are the walls of this road are closing in, and the horizon doesn't seem to have an end and stuff like that. It's I liked how it did kind of try to build up a sense of foreboding up until we actually finally encounters or finally spots the thing.
Part of the problem, I don't know, because so much, I don't know,
so much at the beginning, just kind of his inner monologue and describing his drive to the creepy place, and then the creepy place is pretty much over within almost less paragraphs than the descriptions you just gave. He
describes his surroundings in a fucking paragraph.
Yeah.
When he's actually, when the road has gotten creepy, it's in a paragraph.
And that's actually, I understand what you mean. That's actually the wrong way to do it. You should be describing that a little more.
No, not necessarily. But, if you're gonna tell me, that your friends used to work at the fucking greenhouse, yada yada yada, and all this other, just
padding,
stupid amount of detail, to try and get me believe that you have a normal life. When shit gets creepy, you should probably try, at least close to as hard, as opposed to, barely even fucking giving it a thought, to get me to believe the creepy shit.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't understand a lot about about the way this story was written. There were a lot of choices here that...
It had some good ideas, but it kind of fell short by the end.
Well, the story itself is kind of a cool idea, and it does play out in a kind of a fun and funky way. you figure out the hook well before it's actually, you know, delivered to you, but at the same time, it's okay. You don't get upset by that. I don't know. At least I didn't. You know, I didn't feel like a super genius, but I didn't feel like the story was treating me like a moron either.
Like we've had in some other stories.
But, you know, like, I figured out the trick, you know, not at the start of the story, and certainly not, you know, once things started getting creepy, but I did figure it out before it was, you know, revealed, and the reveal wasn't lessened by that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that makes any sense, but, like I say, it was, I like the cool little trick. It worked.
Yeah.
Like, once Slenderman pops up, this story gets good.
Yeah.
You know, except for the whole Stairway to Heaven bolt.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, no, I do like how they, like, I honestly didn't catch the fact, like, oh, he's passing himself up until the point where he actually notes, oh, wait, that was me in the other car. I was like, oh, shit, I know what's going on. Didn't catch that quite until it was, you know, almost at the end of the story. Yeah. But that's me, because...
I thought it was... I was like, you know, that's kind of a cool, fun little loop. I mean, if you take Slenderman out of this, it's
just a time
anomaly. It's a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, well, that's always that nice spot I can't quite reach on my own, you know, when you're scratching your back. Like, so, yeah, that always makes me happy.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, and actually Slenderman in this is really only there just to have, like, kind of like, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of like name-dropping Led Zeppelin. He was just like, because he really didn't, I mean, the only thing he caused was that he caused the, like, he saw the thing in his head, in his lights, and then was scramming as fast as he could, and then saw it in his rearview mirror, and scrammed as far as he, and just was trying to get out of there, away from it, and then that's when everything went wrong.
No, you say that, but no, I think Slenderman really works as an explanation for this crazy time loop.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, how else does he pass himself twice?
Yeah, aside from it just being, like, an anomaly that's just never explained. Like,
exactly.
It gives it a source.
Whereas, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I really know jack about Slenderman, but that seems like he's a reasonable explanation for that entire event, for the road existing for him to turn on to, for, you know, the obvious, you know, loops in time.
Yeah, which, again, it's, there's actually, like, a whole Slenderman wiki that gives you, like, his abilities in the original mythos, and then, like, the new ones, and because there's, like, a couple of divergent versions. We'll get to them in the next couple weeks.
I'm sure I'll hate for it.
Probably.
But, you know, that seems, I don't know, for everyone to, you know, go all fucking Slenderman crazy like they have, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they will. Like,
it's not like I'm making this shit up. It's a
like,
thing.
There, unfortunately, are some, like, it's like the media, and then, unfortunately, in real life, some people have taken it too far. So, but, yeah, with this, yeah.
But, so, when, you know, I'm like, okay, well, if he's that, you know, popular, he's gotta be badass. So if he's badass, you know what? He could fucking have, you know, a nice little time tunnel where time and space are not exactly as we perceive them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, having that whole thing, I don't know, it was kind of cool.
Okay. How was it for your, I think this is probably your first creepypasta with Slenderman. Like, your impressions of him from this?
Well, my impressions are preformed because he's pop culture now.
Yeah.
And I was already aware of him before this. Like I say, like I already have ideas and impressions of, like, yeah, he can totally fucking make that time loop, and I came up with that and you didn't.
Yeah.
Whereas you know more about Slenderman and you didn't come up with that.
Yeah.
So, like, I already have, you know, previously established perceptions of Slenderman. So, yeah, it's Slenderman. I don't necessarily see what all the big fuss is about, but I get it. at the same time,
I think it's much like how like Lovecraft fans like just gush over Cthulhu, whereas like creepypasta fans gush over their big Slenderman character.
yeah. I mean, there might be cooler shit out there in the creepypasta verse, but everyone fucking knows Slenderman.
Yeah.
Whereas there's totally cooler shit out there in the Lovecraft verse.
God, yeah. Like,
but everyone knows Cthulhu.
He's got plushies, much like Slenderman, but
Yeah, they're cooler because they got
they got tentacles and
they got
little
plush
wings.
tentacles.
And
Yeah.
some of them are puppets.
We're not biased, folks.
No, not at all. One of us totally doesn't have a Cthulhu plushie right now.
It's not the one you'd think either.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Slenderman's just kind of become, you know,
An icon. Kind of
probably far more important to outsiders of creepypasta
than to
people who are actually in the creepypasta culture.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure there are a lot of creepypasta fans and writers and shit
That just like
who are just like who sound like complete hipsters because they're like, oh, you like Slenderman?
yeah. I will say that
You
like
probably haven't even heard of Jeff the Killer. You know?
yeah.
And, I mean, as long as they're not actually saying Jeff the Killer in that, and, like, actually saying
Insert
something
cooler
cooler, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I know they're out there.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Six-Legged Rape Centaur.
Yeah, what the
Poorly named, but fuck.
But I
kind of
want some more
a
stories.
decent creature. I kind of want to know more about that.
Yeah. Get on that internet.
But, you know, kind of like, it's like, oh, you're a Lovecraft fan, eh?
You must like Cthulhu.
Is your favorite monster of his Cthulhu? I thought so. I'm not taking you seriously anymore.
Yes, you probably have never heard of Nyarlathotep.
You see?
Name drop.
See what happened? But
The crawling chaos. No.
that's, you know...
Oh, I could
that's-
go on for that, so yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the whole Slenderman thing, is that he's really just become, through probably blind luck,
Yeah, and the masses.
and cool and fairly decent designs. It's kind of a cool, simple, easily reproduced
yeah.
design.
Also, and actually, because of that, I'm pretty sure that's why the vlog scene of Slenderman like stuff has become so big. Because there are at least hundreds of vlogs out there, or attempted vlogs, or like web series that have done like, oh, I'm being stalked by Slenderman, or I'm being attacked by Slenderman kind of stuff. And and they all have different takes on it. And actually, the one that we're going to be discussing later this month, Marble Hornets, is kind of what really like made that popular, like that whole like medium for it popular, or got it off the ground. And
But regardless,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, it has those basic ingredients and then
Yeah.
a little bit of blind luck.
boom,
And now it's the spokesman for an entire genre of storytelling.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, those are my thoughts on. Well, I guess those are my general thoughts
Your stance,
on Slenderman,
probably.
not
Yeah.
on this particular pasta. In this
Yeah, we should
pasta,
get back to the
by doing very little. I mean, he's also doing a whole lot. I mean, he doesn't do much when he appears. He really just shows up, gets seen, and, you know, he's gone again.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like what you say. He really is, like most stuff he's in, he's really just like the catalyst.
Well, I don't know that.
Okay, sorry.
But, like, you know, he doesn't really do much, but at the same time, he also created this
Road.
this
This time thing.
in this bubble in space and time for this guy to get
Have the,
lost in.
Yeah, to have the misfortune of deciding, hey, I haven't been down this road.
So, I mean, when you put it that way, like, when you put it into that perspective, well, he fucking did a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, like he did so little, but did so much.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
And I appreciate that kind of, I don't know if it's a parallel or a perpendicular, but I appreciate that kind of contrast.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of like the butterfly effect, right? Like the...
No.
No? Okay, like little thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Because his showing up in the light of the turn signal has nothing to do with creating this pocket in space and time.
Okay, yeah. It was already established.
Exactly.
I gotcha. Try to sound like I'm competent and just fall short.
Well, you tried to use a popular catchphrase. Quite frankly, I prefer the ripple effect, but whatever.
Okay, fair enough. So, I actually really, I mean, like I stated earlier, I do dig the story. Like, I actually didn't hate the amount of guff that we get at the beginning. I actually enjoyed the read. Because it was actually really, like, to me, it was written fairly well.
You said you had problems with it.
I only had problems in that.
I think we both picked up on the same thing, and it just bugged
you more. Yeah. Like, it takes, oh my god.
Something bugged me more than you?
Blasphemy!
Left is right, up is down.
Jeff the Killer's a good pasta. No.
There is no in an infinite number of universes, there is no universe where that's a thing.
Nope. Except the internet, apparently. But
no. Nope.
So, yeah, like, I would definitely recommend The Road as a creepypasta to read if you want to see Slenderman do some cool little shit to a poor victim. Because it's simple but effective.
And it was, like, this is probably a good introduction, too, because, I mean, you're not inundated with fucking, like, oh, this is Slender. Like, I don't know what we're looking at for the future for the rest of this month.
Either.
Well, no, what I mean, like, I don't know what kind of stories we're gonna get, what kind of fucking detail of his abilities and shit. You're not inundated with a bunch of that shit. I mean, so, if you want to know Slenderman, this might not be what you're looking to read, but
it's a good one with him in it.
If you're looking to get an example of the shit he can do and how he goes about it.
Yeah.
You know, just by popping up for, you know, like, in a movie terms, for a frame or two, and then you don't see him. But meanwhile, he's created this pocket in space and time.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, yeah, he goes to great lengths, but when it comes to actually showing up, he kind of just phones it in.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way that has you... like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yep, that's a valid reaction after that. And in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, I want to read more pastas with this guy.
Yeah.
And in this instance, lucky you, there's a veritable shit ton, apparently.
Yeah. I'd say there's, like we're gonna get into it because I mean, I actually had to look for some, like, actually dig to find creepypastas that are based off of Slenderman that aren't like a paragraph or like an excerpt or a blog which spans months or a video.
So basically, it's either feast or famine.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you want to watch vlog, like we said, we're gonna include a vlog in the month, and that's actually really one of the best ways of going about seeing what he does because there's just so much there that you're bound to hit gold in. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Some of them are kind of, some, like, fall short, but... and there's blogs you can read and stuff like that, but for, like, long-form, like, serials of, like, somebody being stalked by Slenderman. But for actual short stories, like what we just read, there's actually not as much as I thought there was.
So, in other words, this is probably something that's really good for someone to read for their first Slenderman, because it's short.
Yeah.
Like, it's not terribly long.
Yeah.
Like, it was a quick read. But it gets the point across.
Yeah.
And it does it well, from what I can understand. At least I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's accurate to, you know, Slender lore, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Exactly. And that's really what counts.
And that might be blasphemous to some, but... I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to enjoy, like, I'm reading a pasta to enjoy it.
Yeah. And then rip into the ones you don't.
Well, no, that's what the podcast is for. I read the creepypasta to enjoy it. It's when I don't that I get angry.
Yes. Fair enough.
And yeah, this one was enjoyable. And, you know, I mean, I'm not a Slenderman fan, so I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of, you know, the creature.
In fact, sometimes you're contrary, so it's actually good to have, like, the fanboy.
When something is so super popular... and I don't see why, I can be quite the contrarian.
Yeah, and...
I don't know if anyone's figured that out yet.
I mean, we're almost going on 50 episodes. Actually, I think this might be our 50th episode. No? Okay. But, yeah, like, I think if the audience hasn't figured that out now, wow.
Well, then there's... Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Maybe you should go back and listen to all the episodes you skipped.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, oh... You may be a newcomer, in which case, welcome. I'll just point you in the direction of all the other episodes.
Of the past.
Yes.
But so, I mean, is it a perfect story? No.
No.
Again, that story doesn't exist. But I don't know. It's a good. I definitely think it's a good introduction, and I'm just, I'm not a gambling man, but I'm betting that there are way worse examples of stories to start yourself off with Slenderman. So if you're like me, avoid those.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about Slenderman and you want to find out, avoid those. Check out The Road.
Yeah. Again, not The Road by...
Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah. The Road by...
I mean, if you want to get angry,
Yeah. Oh.
and then get angry, and then get angrier.
Just look up The Road on Creepypasta.com, or just Google The Road Creepypasta, and make sure that Slenderman is in the tag somewhere. Unfortunately, there is a reading of it online on YouTube. I will put the link in the description, but it's not very good. Like, it tries very hard, but it's not very good production. And then Eyeless Jack, if you want to listen to somebody read it, Mr.CreepyPasta does have a reading of it. So I will leave that in the description below.
Well, in that case, I'm going to put out a informal request to Mr. Creepypasta. If you're going to do Eyeless Jack,
Do The Road.
do The Road.
All right, Mr. Creepypasta, you have your request. We look forward to hearing your email. Which you can send to aldenterigamortis@gmail.com.
Ooh, master of the segue.
That's aldenterigamortis@gmail.com, where everybody else can send us suggestions for other creepypastas and Slenderman stuff that you'd like us to discuss on the show.
Yeah, especially because apparently our research department is having a hard time finding Slenderman stories.
Right? Okay, sorry.
So
I
if
tried
you've got
finding good ones.
Well, but hold on. If you've got like a favorite Slenderman pasta, give us a shout, because
we will do it. Even if it's not Slendermonth, we will probably end up doing it.
well, always.
Yeah. Also, we have been getting people that want us to start doing SCBs, but...
Yeah, there's always one in the crowd.
Yeah. There's always one.
Whatever. I know I'm safe for the month. So
Yeah.
we can worry about that after.
Yeah. So that ends our episode for the first of our episodes of Slendermonth. We're both on Twitter, although I'm the twit of our group. So you can send me a message on Twitter at the Review Cultist. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Kiwi6. We're on Tumblr. We're on iTunes. So send us a review. Tell us how we're doing. We're on YouTube as well. I'm trying to get them out as fast as I can, but sometimes I miss a week and then post 2 or 3 at the same time. Also, the music for the intro and outro is by Zip Zipper on YouTube. It's just called the Slenderman Song, so go check it out. And yeah, that's it for the episode. So look forward to the next ones. So until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
And I'm still Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.
All the children try to run. Slenderman, Slenderman. To him, it's part of the fun. Slenderman.